Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Frederick High School. Rooftop. November 13th, 1922. I don't know what year this is. Friday the 13th. Check, 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 check. You get anything? Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 17. Check the mic. 1, 2, 8, 7, 3, 2, 9, 6, 4. All right, very good. It's a scary night for the Mead Warriors, Mead Mavericks.
I was looking for these. I can't.
Yeah. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Frederick High School versus the Mead Mavericks from the Frederick High School football stadium. 14 minutes and 27 seconds on the clock until kickoff time. And we are getting ready for the final game of the regular season between the Mead Mavericks and the Frederick Warriors. We'll go over the entire roster of the Frederick team, let you know exactly who's on the team, who's playing tonight, a lot of substitutions, a lot of sophomores, a lot of young teams, a lot of young players on the team. We'll go over the full details here in just a bit of it. But right now, up high atop the press box, head coach Travis Peoples is here with me. Coach Peoples, final game of the regular season. Give me your thoughts on the season so far.
Well, you know what? We're really proud of our kids. We preach toughness and kids stepping up. Tonight, we got a lot of guys that are going to step up. 16 guys out, and I'm a little bit out of breath for running up these stairs and ducking under this. But 16 kids are out, COVID, whatever the deal is, injury. And we have so many kids stepping up. We have a freshman, Xavier, starting at linebacker. We have I think it's 13 or 14 sophomores starting, and we're not using that as an excuse. We're using that as motivation. We know our future's bright. We know we're not making the playoffs this year, but the one thing we can do is play as hard as we can, and we're going to try to win this game, and we're going to try to win our last bowl game. And so, you know, if you're judging the season, you might look at our record and say it wasn't successful. I look at it the opposite. I think this was a super successful year for us. The last two games, we lost by 3 points and 6 points, and we were in both games, and we played the same number of young guys. So we're excited. They're juiced up, and we think we're going to have a great one tonight.
And they were very close in the last two games, even with the young guys. Turnovers got away from last game, but that's the only difference. It was a close game.
Yeah, we felt like if we didn't turn the ball over, it would have been the score would have been lopsided. We felt like we were the much better team, but it is what it is. They beat us by 3. We turned over 7 possessions, 3 of them in the red zone. And it is what it is. We didn't win the game. We learned from it. It was a lesson. Our kids, I thought, were more physical. They played hard. And that's the one thing about our kids is every single week they play as hard as they can. And so we're excited. I mean, we're excited about this season. We have 2 senior starters, Lehman and Sinako, and our team's extremely young. And, again, not an excuse. We're trying to win tonight. Tonight would be a great step in the right direction. We are 0-8 against this team. And, you know, we're going to give them everything they got.
Any change in the game plan? You got Conover under center. He's back. He missed the last game. You've got some young guys in the backfield. Same as you started the year. Have you made some changes?
Well, the quarterback's back. Our starting quarterback, Conover's back. He can spin it pretty good. He's a big kid and he can run. So we're going to use him, and we're going to use the guys that we used the last couple of weeks, the sophomore tandem back there with Bowen, Lakey, and Zamudio. And those kids really ran the ball well, except they dropped it on the ground. So we did some ball security drills. We talked to them about how important it is for not only them, but our whole city. They're carrying the city when they're carrying that ball. And so hopefully we keep the ball in our hands and we get it in the end zone. But I'm looking forward to a great night. I can't be more proud to be the coach here and to what these kids have faced. And we could have folded our tent. You know, we've had people come to us saying, hey, like I think there's 30 teams in the state that have folded the tent and said we're not playing. And we could have been one of those. And I said, no way. We'll play freshmen if we have to. We'll play anybody we got. And that's where we're at. So it is what it is. And we will never back down. If we had to play 8th graders, we bring 8th graders up.
Good luck to you, Coach, tonight. 10 minutes and 57 seconds from Frederick High School. If you're listening on the YouTube, make sure you pass it around to Grandma. The new COVID restrictions, require each student to only have 1 ticket per player. So it's a very sparse stands, a very sparse seating in the stands, both on the home and the visitor side. That means, my friends, that there's going to be a whole lot of folks listening on YouTube. And if you know a parent that maybe is not logged on, wants to see their kid play, make sure you pass that away. We understand that the folks at the Mountain Cowboy Brewery in downtown Frederick are live streaming the YouTube broadcast. And so if they already have it turned up and on, hello to Mountain Cowboy. I think they've got the blankets out, the fire pits out, and everybody's outside on the big screen watching the YouTube feed. As Coach People said, it's a very young team. Several key players out, some with COVID restrictions and quarantine, others with injuries. And it's a very young team. The Frederick Warriors just came on the field carrying the American flag, the flags of the military branches of the government, along with Chris Baum carrying the American flag. 9 minutes and 41 seconds. The Frederick Warriors are on the field. The Mead Mavericks are still in the south end zone, taking a kneel. again, painting the picture of the stadium, the south end zone is empty today. Usually, throughout the course of this COVID quarantine season, this is called the rowdy crowd. The Frederick High School students, members of the community, have gathered past the fence in the private field south of the end zone. They've been asked by Boulder County Health Department and school officials not to do that because of fears of the COVID-19. So it's going to be a quieter night here at the studio. It's the cheerleaders, the dance team, and 2 football teams, some officials, volunteers, and one parent or one ticket per student, so a very sparse night at the Frederick High School Stadium. Looking at the forecast for the night, it looks as if we will stay in the 40s for most. We'll be about 43 degrees, 42 degrees at kickoff, and it should stay in the 40s, maybe dipping down to 39 depending on how long the game goes. Warmer than the last game the Frederick Warriors had at home. As I said, Frederick Warriors have had a couple of close losses in the past several weeks. Last week up in Gibson with Mountain Ridge High School, that was a close game as well. Fumbles, turnovers got away from the young team, but even the commentators on the stream for that game were commenting on the youth of the Frederick team. So it should be a good night. Coach Peoples, as you heard in his interview earlier, said we're not surrendering, we're not folding up. If we have to play 8th graders, we'll play 8th graders, we'll play 9th graders, and therefore they have a whole lot of youth on this team. 8 minutes and 10 seconds until kickoff here in Frederick. Again, there may be a few moments of silence, but pass the word about the YouTube feed. Send it out to everybody. Gather around and enjoy the YouTube broadcast, and so many people are not allowed to come into the stadium. Very clear night in Colorado. From the top of the press box, you can see the traffic flowing on I-25. The sun just finishing its sunset over the mountains. To the south, the brighter lights of Denver. And to the north, it gets dimmer up towards, and to the east, of course, even dimmer still. We're broadcasting top, very top, not in the press box, on top of the press box to get a good view and a vantage point of the field. It looks as if the referees are maybe ready to wire this thing up early. We will see if they do. They're in position, bouncing around, talking to the sidelines. If you know how the CHASA rules are working this year, rather than to promote social distancing, they are doing one coin flip statewide. That coin flip happened on Thursday, yesterday, statewide, and whoever won the coin flip, that means that's the coin flip winner, and that's the call for a visitor or a home team. They win the toss statewide. So it was whoever wins, and that's statewide. I'm not sure who's won the toss tonight. The referees are now conferring. Some are conferring over on the Mead Maverick bench. And, of course, another group over on the Frederick bench. The coaches on Frederick are gathering their guys up one more time. It looks like everybody's ready a little bit earlier without a lot of the pregame festivities that oftentimes happen. Without some of the pregame festivities, the teams look to be a little bit ready to go, and no one's quite ready. It's time for the national anthem. We'll hold the mic out, see if you...
Performed and recorded by your very own Varsity Blues Frederick High School Choir.
Oh, strangers keep by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched. So gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red flames bursting in, they proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And there's the national anthem at the Frederick High School Stadium. Hopefully throughout the night you'll get to hear some of the noise on the sideline that we get to hear here in the stadium because it is empty because of all the restrictions and population and attendance and what have you. Let me go over the starting lineups for Frederick, but before I do, as we're just a couple of moments before kickoff, there's several players, as Coach Peoples mentioned, 17 very key players that are out. Tyler Weston is out, their normal starting running back. Trevor McLean is out with an injury. Chris Espindola is out. Parker Ayers, who's had such a great year running, is out. Cooper Anderson is out. Noel Martinez is out. And also Mikey Espindola is out. So there is a lot of, those are some of the key guys that are out this year. And as Coach Peoples said in his pregame interview, only 2 starting seniors on the team. Frederick is back to receive. River Lakey, Cruz, Zamudio are deep. LaFi, Purcell, Tegan Bowen a little bit more shallow. Looking at the field, we're looking to the east. The Mead Mavericks will be moving left to right. The Frederick Warriors will be moving right to left. It's kickoff time in Frederick. Kicking off now from the 40-yard line. The ball goes deep. Picked up by Zamudio, bounces on the ground. Zamudio recovers it and takes it to the about 20-yard line, right on the nose. Frederick will take over for the first drive of the game, 1st and 10.
Kick is returned by number 22.
Your offensive line for the Frederick Warriors. Offensive line, again, sophomore Hunter Kenny, sophomore Gabriel Mesa.
Start with the ball on the 20-yard
Devin
line.
Fure, also a sophomore. Reese Lehman, a senior on that offensive line, and Chris Sunoco, also a senior. A lot of sophomores on that line. Bryce Conover under center. He hands off to Cruz Zamudio. Cruz Zamudio cuts right up the right hash mark. Gains about 2-3 yards on the play. Cruz Zamudio rounds up that
Zamudio carries for a gain of 2 yards.
Frederick offense. Running back in the backfield. A rotation, a tandem of sophomores. Tegan Bowen is a running back. Cruz Zamudio, also River Lakey in the backfield as a tailback. Wide receiver, sophomore LaFi Purcell. Bryce Conover back under center. There's motion in the backfield. It goes to number 1, Jonathan Pinkoff. He drags a couple of defenders just short, maybe depending on the marking, could be a first down for the Frederick Warriors.
John Pinkoff carries the ball for a Warrior first down.
They do call it a first down on the field. Jonathan Pinkoff with a carry. Wide receivers, LaFi Purcell. Tight end is Alex Stern starting. And again, the quarterback, Bryce Conover. Bryce Conover back under center for the Frederick Warriors. River Lakey solo in the backfield, number 6. It's a tailback. Hand off to River Lakey. He jaunts, he jiggles, he moves. About 7 yards on the play by River Lakey. One jiggle away, there would have been a run down the sideline. Nice carry.
About 7 yards.
It's going to be second down and 3. Conover still under center. 2 guys in the backfield. Conover rolls over to the right, fakes his handoff. He makes a pass down the field. And the pass is picked off, falling short of Alex Stern. Conover throws an interception there. The Mead Mavericks will take over on their own.
Nathan Bailey.
On their own 34-yard line. The Mead Mavericks take over on the 34-yard line, heading again left to right, heading towards the south end zone. Frederick had a small drive going on there, a lot of running plays.
On their own 33-yard line.
Unfortunate interception there. First turnover of the game. Number 4 for the Mead Mavericks launches a pass. The pass is incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Can you put my numbers roster out of here? Your starting defense for the the Frederick Warriors. Chris Baum, a defensive end. Chris Sunoco, one of the seniors, is also a defensive end. We'll give the rest of the lineup here in just a moment. Mead is from the shotgun formation. Quick handoff out of the backfield to number 3. He stopped just past the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1.5 yards depending on the spot. Nice stop by the Frederick defense.
Stopped up by Chris Sanako.
So there's the name of your defensive end, one of the only seniors starting today, Chris Sanako at defensive end. He makes the tackle on the play. The other defensive end, Chris Baum. We'll get to the rest of the defense, but Mead is doing a very quick huddle up and back to the line of scrimmage. Just short of not quite a hurry-up offense, but they are wasting no time to get back up. It's a handoff from the backfield. Nice tackle. Looks like Chris Baum, number 90, the junior, in on that tackle. Maybe a gain of 1. There's also a penalty. Nope. I thought we saw a penalty flag signal, but we did not. But Chris Baum on the tackle. It is now 4th down. Mead is back to. Mead looks like they are back to punt the ball. Kicker kicks from the 25-yard line.
Ball is down by Tegan Bone.
The other one has a darker number. I can't see the numbers on it. Number 9, Tegan Bowen on the return. Fair catched it, bobbled it a little bit, but he dove on it and made his own recovery.
Warriors will start with the ball at the 18-yard line.
Frederick Warriors take over on their own 18-yard line. Second attempted offense for the evening. Had a nice drive going for just a few moments, and an interception broke that one up. They stopped the Mead Mavericks in 4 downs. Conover makes the handoff. Conover under center.
Cruz Zamudio with the carry.
Hands the ball to Cruz Zamudio, number
on
22. No gain on that play. That drive stop by the defense was so quick we didn't even have a chance to introduce the defense. We will get to that here in just a moment. Bryce Conover back under center. 2 people in the backfield. Zamudio and Lakey. In motion is Pinkoff. Pinkoff gets the carry. Maybe a gain of 1 on the end around on the left side. It's 3rd down and 9.
Gain of about 1 yard.
3rd down and 9. The Frederick Warriors still deep into their own territory at about their own 13-yard line. 17-yard line. See what Frederick pulls out here on a 3rd down and long on this play. Conover fakes the handoff. He rolls out to his right. He's looking downfield for a pass. He launches a far, far pass away. Straight to, it looks like Cruz Zamudio, because Zamudio just could not bring it in.
Pass is incomplete.
And that pass is incomplete. 4th down for the Frederick Warriors. Number 9, sophomore Tegan Bowen will come in to punt. He's the punt returner. He's also the punter on the Frederick varsity team. Tegan Bowen will take the snap just at about Frederick's own 5-yard lines. Dangerous territory for a punter, and an offensive line needs to make a great block here because you don't want to have a turnover here. Tegan Bowen back. He's now on the 9-yard line. Good snap. The snap is up. The kick is off. It's a bouncer. Hits it about the 40. Rolls to about the 45. Keeps rolling. It's at about the 47-yard line. Netting probably a 35, 37-yard kick for Tegan Bowen. So Mead Mavericks take the field one more time, trying to put some first points on the field, on the scoreboard tonight. Your starting defense for the Frederick Warriors. We'll go through that here in just a moment. Number 4 for the Mavericks is up to pass. He goes way downfield. Looks for his guy. Guy takes his receiver. Number 21 for the Mead Mavericks, unable to bring it in. He took a little leap at it, couldn't get there. Defensive ends for the Frederick team, Chris Baum. Defensive end also Chris Sunoco, and then you have the defensive line, Reese Lehman, one of the other seniors on the team, and defensive lineman Caden Cobb on the team. He's one of those sophomores. They're moving quick, so we'll get back to the linebackers here in just a moment. A lot of motion in the Mead Maverick backfield. Nobody back except the quarterback from a shotgun formation. He looks to the sideline to get some instructions. makes a little audible, some call of the play. Man in motion. He hands to number 3 out of the backfield. And number 3 wiggles and jiggles. He's past the first down marker, and he's dragging a few Frederick Warriors. That's a first down for the Mead Mavericks.
With the carry for a Maverick first down.
That's about a 25, maybe 30-yard carry. They've already moved the sticks on me, so I don't know where we started at. The clock continues to roll. It looked like he got out of bounds, but he did not. Linebackers for the Frederick Warriors. Owen Clemenson. John Pinkoff, number 1. Pass by the Mead Mavericks. Completed to number 3. And number 3 runs in for a touchdown. Mead Mavericks draw blood first tonight. Finish that defense for the Frederick Warriors. Xavier Albertson starting on the defensive line. He is actually a freshman on the team. Again, very young team for the Mead Mavericks. Alex Stern is also as a linebacker. Cruz Zamudio is a cornerback. LaFi Purcell is a free safety, and Tegan Bowen is the other cornerback. A fake extra point attempt taken down by...
And the extra point is no good.
Fake extra point is unsuccessful.
Tackled by Owen Clemenson.
Number 91, Owen Clemenson on the tackle. So once again, for the second time in the first quarter of the game, the Frederick Warriors find themselves back deep to receive a kick. The score at 6 minutes and 43 seconds here at the Frederick High School Stadium is Frederick Warriors 6. The Mead Mavericks 6 and the Frederick Warriors 0. That was wishful thinking on my part. Mead's yet to take the field for the kickoff. The officials are giving them a little prompting and telling them it's time for them to take their spot on the stage. Frederick is lined up and ready to go. Again, back deep, Cruz Zamudio, number 22, number 6, River Lakey. They're lined up on about their own 8-yard line. Both of the gentlemen lined up back in the back deep for the Frederick Warriors are sophomores. As a matter of fact, I think most of the folks on the field to receive the kick are sophomores right now as part of the hands team. River Lakey takes the handoff. He's on the 20. He cuts across the field, across the grain. He takes it to the 30. He zigs, he zags, and he returns from the 8-yard line to about the number 35-yard line. Nice return by Lakey. Frederick gets good field position. 1st and 10 from the 35. That's about a 32-yard return, 33-yard return by Lakey. Lakey, again, one of the sophomores rotating in and out of the backfield. Actually, they don't rotate much. There's not many to rotate with because of so many people that are out due to various injuries and things. Cruz Zamudio gets the pitch. Conover goes under center. Cruz Zamudio zigs and zags himself, and he finds about 4 yards on the play.
Cruz Zamudio with the carry for a gain of 4 yards. Down in 6.
Frederick Warriors come out of the huddle. It is about 2nd down and 5. First down carry by Cruz Zamudio. Got that first 5. Handoff from the backfield to number 1, junior Jonathan Pinkoff. He carries about 4 yards. That will take them to about 3rd down and just about 2 yards to go. It's always interesting in these empty stadiums. You hear the cheerleaders, everything they do, everything they say, every rah-rah-ree you hear, and you can hear it hopefully over the microphone, the sounds of the stadium. You can even hear the coaches giving coaching on the back on the sideline. Bryce Conover for the Frederick Warriors back under center. Motion in the backfield. Cruz Zamudio takes it. Bryce Conover on the carry. He's tackled quickly, but he does get the first down, a gain of about 3 yards by quarterback Bryce Conover. That will be good enough for a Frederick Warrior first down. Frederick Warriors now marching down the field. 32-yard kickoff return by River Lakey. 33-yard kickoff return. Set them up in good field position. Now it is a 1st down and 10. Frederick still in their own territory at about the 47-yard line. Conover once again under center. He takes a snap. He rolls back. He's straight back to pass. He passes short to Cruz Zamudio, but Cruz Zamudio stopped just past the line of scrimmage. Perhaps a gain of about 1 on the
no gain on the play.
On the play. It looks like they give him about a yard on it. 2nd down and 9 yards to go. There's an injured player on the field for the Mead Mavericks, so the Frederick Warriors have come to their sideline to take a knee. The Mead Mavericks have stayed at center field to take a knee. Now Mead is going to drift over to their own sideline. With 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first period, Frederick has begun a slow march down the field. It's looking good. Injured player on the field, though. Let's go over those missing players that Frederick is talking about. It's number 92, one of the big guys for Mead. He gets up under his own power. Good luck to him, and hope he gets back in the game. Some of the key guys missing tonight, either due to COVID or injuries or what have you. Quarantine, Tyler Weston, who's usually the starting tailback and linebacker. Trevin McLean also. He's a D1 recruit prospect, and he's out with an injury. Chris Espindola's out. Parker Ayers, starting running back, defensive back, is out. Cooper Anderson's been out. Noel Martinez is out. Mikey Espindola, all key players for the Frederick Warriors, but there's no quit in the Frederick Warriors. Bryce Conover under center. He fakes the handoff, looks quick out for the pass. His pass falls short.
Pass is incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down.
His pass just short of his intended receiver. His intended receiver was Alex Stern, number 40. Hello to everybody at the Mountain Cowboy Brewery. If you're listening tonight in downtown Frederick, one of the places that people have gathered across Frederick and across the area to watch tonight's game. Bryce Conover from under center. It is a double reverse. Pinkoff takes it. He flicks back to Cruz Zamudio. Cruz Zamudio gains another yard on the play. A lot of movement back and forth across the field. Probably not as much as they had hoped to get going up the field, but there is some motion, a little excitement, a little trickery,
Bring up 4th down and
as we call it in the business, trickeration on the play. Nice to see that happen. That brings up 4th down for the Frederick Warriors. Tegan Bowen, number 9, is back again to punt the ball. Braden Keys back to receive for the Mead Mavericks. Ball makes it to about the 29-yard line before it's down by the Frederick Warriors.
Will be down at the 34-yard line.
So the Mead Mavericks get another shot at it. Frederick Warriors showing signs of life, just couldn't put it together for a scoring drive. Hopefully they'll get that together soon. Watch this Frederick defense. They've had a few nice stops already. That first drive, I don't even think Mead got a first down out of it. They were 4 and out, and that's what Frederick needs to do again here with 3 minutes and 29 seconds in the first period. Braden Keys on the carry, number 3. He again is stops. He goes around the left end again, runs a lot across the field, but fortunately for the Frederick Warriors, not much up the field. Clock continues to roll. He did not go out of bounds. It is 1st and 10. Now the Mead Mavericks try a little reverse there as well.
Ball is carried by Corby Teku. Tackled by Owen Clemenson.
Owen Clemenson on the tackle. That's a gain of about 7 for the Mead Mavericks. That makes it 2nd down and 3. 2nd down and 3 yard lines. On the second down and 3 yards to go from about the 47-yard line of their own. The quarterback tries to keep it straight out. He fakes a handoff. That did not fool anybody. Gavin Garrettson downed immediately. Number 90, Chris Baum, on the tackle.
That'll bring up third down and 3
One of those big guys right up front. Only 2 starting seniors on that Frederick defensive team. Reese Lehman and Chris Sunoco, both on the line. The quarterback rolls out to pass. Felt a little bit of heat from Devin Fure, but the pass is completed.
Maverick pass is complete.
That'll make up a first down. First down from the Frederick Warrior 45. The Mead Mavericks have crossed into Frederick Warrior territory. Alex Stern was on the tackle. Mead has motion in the backfield. Handoff straight up the middle they go. Evan Morris on the carry. Flag on the play. Let's see where that goes against. From the position of that, I would guess you're going to have a hold or an illegal motion, but we'll see. I've been wrong twice before. Illegal motion on the offense. That backs them up quite a bit. That's going to make it about
illegal shift on the Mavericks.
1st and 15. Backs them up 5 yards on the play.
15.
Quarterback rolls out to the left. He looks downfield, finds a man wide open. Will Tenor is the recipient of that pass. That takes that a first down. LaFi Purcell pushes them out of bounds, but not before there's a first down scored. LaFi Purcell is stepping in for Cooper Anderson, who is LaFi's a sophomore. Cooper is a sophomore. Cooper's been quarantined with many other players on the team, and so LaFi Purcell steps in. Braden Keys on the carry for about 11 yards. First down. Mead wastes no time. They just call that play right as you line up. There's not a lot of huddle time. Motion in the backfield, a handoff. Number 26 for the Mead Mavericks. Nathan Bailey on the carry. Brought down pretty quick. About 2 yards, maybe 3 yards. 38 seconds. The clock is nonstop rolling. Getting out of this first quarter. Let's see if Frederick can stop him and end the first quarter with only one score of the Mead Mavericks. There's a timeout on the field. Timeout on the field.
Timeout
by Frederick. Stops the clock at 27 seconds and 27.7 seconds.
Fans, this is just your friendly reminder that all spectators must maintain social distancing. Masks are required worn at all times.
Stadium announcer reminding people here they have to keep social distancing. I don't think there's any other way to do this game tonight. One person per player on both sides, and you have a big stadium here. So I think social distancing is pretty much a natural occurrence, but nevertheless, the friendly reminder by your friendly stadium announcer to keep your social distance. High atop the roof of the press box in Frederick, Colorado, the Frederick Warriors taking on the Mead Mavericks with just 27 seconds left in the first quarter to go. Mead is knocking on the Frederick door. Motion in the backfield, handoff to number 24. Kobe Teki scores, number 24 for the
And Corby Teku takes it in for a Maverick touchdown.
Mead Mavericks, second touchdown of the night for Mead. Mead Mavericks line up for a 2-point conversion. A lot of motion in the backfield. They hand off straight up the middle. But looks like just between the guard and the tackle, there is a hole, and it works out. Nathan Bailey gets the carry. Flag on the play. Looks like it might have been a little bit of altercation, a little scuffle, a little couple of words might have been spoken. We'll see who they call the flag on as the Laundry is on the field. Referees are conferring. Frederick still on the field getting ready back to receive. The Laundry is still there. They're trying to figure out who to point the finger at on this one. Here comes the signal from the and the call goes against Frederick. Unnecessary roughness. The extra point is good. That evens it out for the Mead Mavericks. They went for the fake attempt earlier, so that left them at 6. They never got the 7. With the 2-point conversion, that evens them up to 14 points. That scoots the Frederick Warriors back a little bit further into their own territory to receive this kick. They got a personal foul on the extra point score by the Frederick Warriors. Just 20 seconds left in the first period, longest 20 seconds we've had in the entire game. 20 seconds. Cruz Zamudio, River Lakey again back deep. They're on their own 4-yard line, ready to receive the kick by the Mead Mavericks. Brandon Mankey is the kicker for the Mead Mavericks. Mead now calls a timeout. So, again, this longest 20 seconds, the last 20 seconds, it looks like this 20 seconds might go quick once we get all the timeouts and penalties out of the way. You can hear Coach Peoples on the sideline instructing his team. Make sure he has the hands guys out there. Hands guys. Frederick has pulled their guys. Now they're going back again. Little squib kick to number 22, Cruz Zamudio. He recovers it or carries it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Frederick Warriors. 15 seconds remaining in the first period. Should be able to get one playoff. At least get a playoff here at the end of the first quarter. See if they can drive down and put themselves in the end zone. Bryce Conover back under center. River Lakey, the lone man in the backfield. Everybody else is spread out. Motion in the backfield by Jonathan Pinkoff. River Lakey met at the line of scrimmage. They were expecting him in that hole. They came a knocking. River Lakey stopped for 0 gain. That was one as if the Mead Mavericks knew exactly what play had been called on that one. That was they were right there, knocking on the door. That brings up the end of the first quarter for the Frederick Warriors versus the Mead Mavericks in Frederick, Colorado. 14 for Mead, 0 for Frederick. Still a lot of football to go. And we'll switch ends in the field. My spotter tonight is Dan Morton. If I miss a spot, we blame it on Dan. With the limited attendance in this game, I would be surprised. Each player, each participant, cheerleader and dance were given 1 ticket per person. And the same thing for the Mead Mavericks, and I would guess there are probably in this cavernous field and stadium, probably outside of players, you're probably good to find 75 to 100 people able to attend tonight are making have the ability to come here tonight. Bryce Conover under center, second down. Conover looks to pass. He decides to tuck and run, heads to the sideline, to the Frederick sideline.
Conover keeps the ball.
Takes it down to a third down. Small gain. Nope, the angle I'm at here, the very south end of the press box, fooled me. It looks like we lost a yard on that keeper by the quarterback. Quarterback Conover goes to the sideline, gets his play, runs back, informs his team in the huddle. They say ready, break. Conover under center, Lakey in the backfield. Conover drops to pass. He's pressured by number 9 for the Mead Mavericks, scrambled out of the pocket. Conover decides to tuck and run. Nice run by Conover.
And Conover
on the tuck and run.
For a gain of about 8 yards.
It looks like about a 7, maybe 8-yard gain on the play. It still brings up fourth down for the Frederick Warriors.
That'll bring up
And
fourth
Tegan
down.
Bowen decides to come on the field and punt the ball away. Braden Keys back to receive for the Mead Mavericks. Tegan Bowen back to kick for the Frederick Warriors. It's probably happened more tonight than Frederick had hoped so far in the game, but there's still a lot of game going on. Tegan Bowen has a very high kick, very nice kick. High enough, the Frederick players and everybody lost it in the lights. No one knew where it was at. It finally comes down at about the 42-yard lines of Frederick.
42-yard line. Mead will take over.
Nice hang time on that punt by Tegan Bowen. So we'll see if the Frederick defense can get some momentum going and stop the Mead Mavericks once again. If you're just tuning in, remember we'll be here for the entire game. Pass this on to your grandma, your aunts, your uncles, and have them watch the Frederick Warriors tonight in Frederick, Colorado. Final game of the regular season. There is slated to be a bowl or bonus game next week. Mead Mavericks have the ball. They take a shot down the field, and it is a nice shot down the field on 1st and 10.
And Garrettson's pass is complete to Corby Teku for a Mead touchdown.
And just like that, on a dime, Mead launches straight down the middle of the field. Corby Teku catches the ball, runs it in for a touchdown for the Mead Mavericks. That takes it 20-0. 20-0. And the Mead Mavericks are going to attempt a field goal. At least maybe they will. They've faked one. Let's see if they do this one for real. And for real, they kick the ball, and it's good. The Mead Mavericks score the extra point.
By Brandon Mankey is good.
3 touchdowns with extra points is 21-0. Still 10 minutes and 55 seconds. That first drive by Frederick and that quick strike, by one striking out by the Mead Mavericks, that took up 1 minute and 5 seconds. Well, the Frederick Warriors are receiving a kick again. Going to put them back on offense one more time. Brandon Mankey back to kick for the Mead Mavericks. River Lakey Cruz Zamudio back deep. Kicking off from the 40-yard line. Squib kick goes out of bounds just at about the 13-yard line. Flag on the play because it is an out-of-bound kick. We'll get the final spot in just a moment. Let's go over that Frederick offense again. Only 2 starting seniors on the team, reminding us it is a young team. They have fought hard in every game. They've been in it every game. There has not been one game that you ever thought that the Frederick Warriors ever backed out of. They were in it in every game. Just the future's bright for the Frederick Warriors. River Lakey back in the backfield. Bryce Conover under center from the 35-yard line. Bryce Conover hands it. Cruz Zamudio takes it around the right side of the line. And that takes about a 9-yard gain. Nice first down play by the Frederick Warriors. That takes up 2nd down and 1. That's the momentum that you want to see develop for that Frederick team. 2nd down and 1. Conover back in under center. Pinkoff back in the backfield. Now it switches up to Zamudio. Lakey stays consistent in the backfield. Bryce pitches the ball to Zamudio. Zamudio twists, moves the pile. Let's see if that pile moved enough to get to.
Zamudio carries the ball.
They give him a couple of inches there, it looks like, with this spot. They give him about a foot and a half. 3rd and literally it looks like probably 8 inches. 6 to 8 inches. Bryce Conover back under center. Pinkoff's back, Lakey's back. Bryce Conover does a quarterback sneak. Looks like the pile moves and not. He gets it and probably gains a yard, 2.5 yards. First down for the Frederick Warriors. I think that's the first time I've seen a quarterback sneak for the Frederick Warriors all year long. I might have blinked on a play or something like that, but that's the first one I've seen that I recall. Nice carry by Bryce Conover, tough right at the middle. Bryce Conover, again, a junior. I talked to him pregame. I'll tell you what we talked about in just a bit, but he's under center right now. Cruz Zamudio on the counter. He's brought down right at the line of scrimmage. They were waiting on number 22. Bryce Conover is a junior.
No gain on the play.
With Jake Green quarterbacking the varsity playoff team last year for the varsity Frederick Warriors. Bryce Conover spent his time on the JV team. This is his first year starting up at varsity. He's suited up some, but not a lot of playing time, so he's learning this year as well as a junior. It's a big guy, got feet, has a nice arm. Bryce Conover under center, keeps the ball, rolls out to the left. Unfortunately, the Mead Mavericks rolled out with him. He gains about 2 yards, bringing up 3rd down and looks like about 8 yards to go.
Bring up 3rd down and 8.
Bryce Conover does have the wheels. He does have the arm. I asked him, what do you want to do when you graduate? He'd love to head to Mizzou. Wants to be an engineer, perhaps. Still got a couple of years to think about it, just being a junior in high school. Conover once again under center. He rolls out to his right to pass. He decides to tuck. He runs. He cuts across field. Oh, he's just brought down. He had some momentum going, and someone came out of nowhere.
Bryce Conover with the carry for a gain of about 5 yards.
He's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down.
That'll bring up 4th down and 3.
It's 4th down and 3, they call it. The punter, Tegan Bowen, does not come on the field with 7 minutes and 27 seconds and a rolling clock still ticking away. Looks like Frederick is going to send it a play to Bryce Conover. Again, it is 4th down and 3 yards to go. This could just be a hard snap attempt by the Frederick Warriors to see if they can get a free first down, or maybe they're running a play. There's a timeout on the field.
Timeout, Frederick.
Frederick calls a timeout. So Coach Travis Peoples for the Frederick Warriors sends Bryce Conover into the game with the play. They break the huddle, and then Coach Travis Peoples decides we're going to call a timeout and talk it over just a little bit more. Again, 4th down and 3, and assuming they line back up in offense, it's a coin flip as to whether this is just one of the good old-fashioned attempts to get the other people to jump. I would assume, making an assumption, which can be rather dangerous, that you're going to run a play here. Because if you were just going to do a hard count and not run a play, you do the hard count and save that timeout or you use the timeout later. So I could be wrong, but I would assume there's a play coming, and that's why Coach Peoples saw something on the defense he wanted to adjust to and just kind of calm his team down. Because I think if you're just going to do a hard count, you're not really worried. You're just going to try to make sure nobody jumps off sides on your side, and they do on the other side. Conover under center. Lakey in the backfield. Motion. Zamudio. Conover back to pass. He takes a short pass to number 1, Jonathan Pinkoff. It's a first down
And Conover's pass is complete to John Pinkoff.
Gains about 8 yards. First down, Frederick. Pinkoff with the reception. Pinkoff runs back to the huddle with his arms in the air in a sign of victory. It's got to feel good for the junior John Pinkoff. So they go for it on fourth down. It pays off. Let's see if that builds into some momentum for the Frederick Warriors. Bryce Conover back under center. Pinkoff in motion in the background. River Lakey goes up the middle, met right up the middle. Looks like they're going to spot him at about a half a yard, 6-inch gain. Barely a gain at all. They'll count him with the forward momentum.
Ball's carried by River Lakey for no gain on the play.
Motion in the backfield. LaFi Purcell switches sides. Bryce Conover back to pass. He passes to Cruz Zamudio. Cruz Zamudio pushed out of bounds. They're going to say he was inbounds. That is a gain of just about 5 yards on the play. That'll take it to third down.
35-yard line.
That'll take it to third down and 5 yards. Frederick has a small little bit of movement going here. 5 minutes and 47 seconds to go. Got a text message from the peanut gallery. They said hello to the spotter, Dan Morton. They called him Senator Dan. He's here in a blanket wrapped up tight. It's cold on top of the press box. No respect for the broadcast. We're high atop the broadcast tower. Pinkoff gets the carry. He's flipped forward, literally. Flips over the back of someone, lands on his rear end and feet. Nice carry, nice hold on to the ball. Coach Peoples told us in his pregame interview after the turnovers last week that they really worked on ball security drills, and that was one that looks like it might have paid off to have a ball security drill there. It is now 4th and 1. Frederick's going to go for it again. The crowd actually comes alive, what small crowd it is. Bryce Conover goes over his left guard, and I think he's going to have that from my perspective.
Conover with the carry for a Warrior first down.
And he does have it. He has the first down. First down, Frederick. It is funny when I say the crowd here comes alive, that means all 52 of them or less. I don't know. Maybe the spotter. Let's get an estimated crowd attendance. We'll get that to you here in just a moment. Your estimated crowd attendance, there's not many. We're thinking maybe a small classroom is filled up here. Bryce Conover back to pass. He looks to go deep down the field. Alex Stern. It's a touchdown. Touchdown, Frederick. Number 40, Alex Stern. Bryce Conover right into the southwest end zone. Frederick is back on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Nice drive by Frederick. Going for it twice. Gutsy calls on fourth down. Converting on both fourth down plays. And now it's time for the extra point. Luke Dunker was the great kicker last year, kicking recruit. He graduated literally before the season. Frederick had to go find on the soccer team someone to help replace. I don't think Zane Doring, the kicker, had ever played football before. And they recruited him on, so he's learning to be a high school football kicker. 4 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The score now, 21-7. Frederick has drawn blood, and let's see if we can make it, get a little momentum going. This is a time in a game. Having coached football for many years, you get your team in a position to feel good. You want to make sure your extra teams come in and make a stop and don't let an extra long return happen here. So Frederick needs to really pay very close attention on the special teams because they got a little momentum, got a little spark on the bench, a little spark in the cheerleaders, the fans, and you want to keep that. So everybody stay in their lanes. If I were coaching, I'd be stay in your lane, boys, stay in your lanes. That's what I'd be saying right now, but I'm not coaching on the sideline. I did that for many years and lost my voice. Zane Doring, number 30, back to kick. Again, a last-minute recruit onto the team this year. They needed a kicker, and they found Zane. He's done a nice job. Nice kick there. Nice kick. It is returned. It is returned. Nice stop there, though. Nice stop. River Lakey on the play. A couple of times this season, River Lakey, number 6, has been the special teams player of the week. And he makes a spectacular bang-up tackle right there. That's what you have to do. You got to stop them there. You don't want to give them the momentum back. You want to try to build off that momentum. You just took some gutsy calls, scored on 4th down twice, and you want to just try to build off of that. Motion in the backfield. Straight up the middle they go. The pile moves. It looks like they're going to give him about 5, maybe 6 yards on the spot for the Mead Mavericks. The clock still runs, 4 minutes and 3 seconds. It'd be nice for the Frederick defense to get a nice stop here, maybe have one more shot at the end zone with their offense. I'm sure they're thinking the same thing. Straight up the middle they go again. He bounces it outside. He comes up right at the first down marker, but Evan Morris with the carry.
Carried by Evan Morris.
Right at the first down marker, and they're going to move the chains. That is a first down for the Mead Mavericks.
That carry will be enough for a Maverick first down.
Number 91, Devin Fure, sitting on that tackle. Another sophomore on the field. Straight up the middle they're going.
Evan Morris again with the carry.
Evan Morris putting the hit on LaFi Purcell. LaFi Purcell comes to say hi to himself on the sideline. LaFi Purcell, one of those sophomores. Pressure in the backfield. Nathan Bailey on the reception. Garrison's pass complete.
For a Mead touchdown.
And it's a touchdown by Mead. And just like that, the Mead Mavericks have extended their lead 27-7 with this extra point, assuming they kick it and don't try a fake. Assuming they get the extra point, that'll take it to 28-7. A 3-point spread heading into halftime. Frederick would get the ball back here momentarily. Frederick had a nice drive they just had on offense. All they need to do is put together a few more of those and probably make a few halftime adjustments on defense. Early in the game, I noticed that the Mead Mavericks were having not much success up the middle. That drive, they seemed to have a little bit of success up the middle. So a few adjustments probably going to be made at halftime and a little extra coaching. But Frederick is not out of this game by any stretch of the imagination. They're young. They're a scrappy team. And even though they are very young, in the first broadcast we did from the YouTube channel, I used the phrase youth movement so much with Coach Peoples that I was made fun of the rest of the week, so I won't use that very much. But it is a very, very, very young team, and every game that they have come up short in, they have not come up short by much, and they've just been in it to the very, very end. So it's a don't count out the Frederick Warriors here, 28-7. As they're back to receive again just before halftime. Wind is coming out of the south-southwest. It's actually not that cold out, except the wind chill adds to a little bit of the coolness, especially for those of us here atop the press box. Brandon Mankey kicking it off for the Mead Mavericks. Kicks into the end zone. Touchback. Frederick will take it over.
Kick will go into the end zone.
at the 20-yard line.
Ball at their own 20-yard line.
Let's see if they can get into the end zone. That would be a very nice thing. I'm sure Coach Peoples would like that as well, to have the Frederick into the end zone before the halftime. Going in at 14-28 would not be a bad thing. River Lakes trots off the field here. Somebody else rotates in. I didn't see the substitution going on.
It's number 12.
Position.
Zamudio carries the
Cruz
ball.
Zamudio carries the ball.
No gain on the play.
No gain on that play. 2 minutes and 37 seconds. The clock is still moving towards halftime. Bryce Conover breaks the huddle with his team. Bryce Conover, the junior, is the upperclassman pretty much in that entire huddle, with the exception of maybe one other player. There's a flag as the ball is snapped. Let's see if that is an offsides on the Mead Mavericks or if there was motion for the Frederick Warriors. It happened after the ball was snapped. False start on Frederick. That'll back them up just a little bit. I feel like we should have an aerial blimp view of Frederick, Colorado, and the sights and sounds of Frederick on a Friday night. Not a lot of traffic moving up and down the old Colorado Boulevard. Maybe everybody's at the Mountain Cowboy Brewery watching this game on the big screen. Bryce Conover fires a pass on the rollout.
Conover's pass is incomplete.
Bops out of the hand of two Mead Mavericks. And that'll bring third down and 15 to go. The depth of the Frederick team is pretty great, even with these key players. They have some top-notch players still, key players that are missing that we've gone over a couple of times. They have some great assets back there to run and pass and to catch, and it's a team with a lot of depth. Jonathan Pinkoff gets the carry, and he bounces it past the line of scrimmage. It's going to be short of the first down, but it is still a nice, respectable carry by Pinkoff.
Timeout, Mead.
And Mead's going to stop the clock rather than let it run, knowing that they're probably about to get the ball back on a punt at 4th down and 9. Now the cheerleaders trying to get the Frederick fans fired up. I'm sure the Frederick cheerleaders are missing their rowdy crowd, their student body fans more than anybody. Parents not necessarily the most excitable at a football game. With all respect and love to the parents. Tegan Bowen back for the punt. Whoa! There's going to be a roughing the kicker on Tegan Bowen. That should probably change things up here.
48-yard line, but there's a flag on the play.
They're going to bring that one back. Tegan Bowen had released the kick, and you saw the defender for the Mead Mavericks didn't even look like he attempted to pull up. They're going to call it a personal foul, roughing the kicker. It's going to be a first down again for Frederick. Frederick.
Foul for roughing the kicker.
Mead called that timeout assuming they were going to get to play, but a little lack of discipline by their defensive team causes a big penalty, gives Frederick Warrior new hope. 1:29 seconds to go. So there's a breath of life the Frederick Warriors can use. They'll take advantage of. Mead might be wishing they had not burned that timeout now because the clock would have expired a little bit more. They kept a little extra on there for Frederick. Let's see if Frederick can make the best of it. Bryce Conover is under center. Bryce Conover keeps it, but he's tackled in the backfield and swarmed by
Keeps the ball for a loss of 1
number
on the play.
9 by the Mead Mavericks. That's going to be a loss of a yard. The clock, though, continues to run. Minute 14 left in the first half. Minute 11 here on the stadium clock now. Frederick Warriors will head to the north end zone for their halftime. Due to the COVID restrictions, no one is allowed to use a locker room. Pre-game and post-game changing is often interesting, as the kids have to change out of their uniforms on the sideline because they're not allowed in a locker room. Cruz Zamudio on the carry. Gains about 6 yards. The clock is still rolling. It is third down and just about 5 yards to go after that first carry of a loss of 1. So the Frederick Warriors will go to the north end zone here for halftime right under the flagpole.
Chris Kolowski with the carry.
Chris Kolowski gets the carry. A gain of maybe 2 yards by Chris Kolowski.
That brings up 4th and 2.
6 seconds left on the clock. It's going to wind down in just a moment. You'll hear the buzz of halftime.
And that's halftime. The score at the half, the Mead Mavericks 28, your Frederick Warriors 7.
So at halftime, it's 28-7. The Mead Mavericks up over the freshman Warriors, or the Frederick Warriors. And we will join here. 15 minutes for halftime. Set your clock, set your timer, set your phone for 15 minutes of halftime. We do not have any song, dance, or halftime show for you, so we will take a quick pause and give you some radio silence, maybe a little bit of lovely music or something like that. If not, make your own fun here in halftime. And just about 14 minutes and 57 seconds, we will be back high atop the broadcast booth at the press box at the Frederick High School Stadium for the second half of coverage. So in the meantime, get yourself some popcorn, turn on some music. We'll be back here. Set your alarm. 14 minutes and 42 seconds. We're back here in Frederick. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
assault.
Ball is carried by Corby Teku. There's a flag on the play.
Alex Stern attempting to make a tackle there. Now there's a penalty, though. They're going to call a holding. I believe it's the holding. Illegal block in the back against the Mead Mavericks. It was second down and long at that juncture. Second down remains second down, but we'll back them up to second down and longer. So a little conversation on the field. Nice run on second down by Mead, taking them back up to the original line of scrimmage at the 35-yard line. Evan Morris on the carry.
Bring up third down and 10
It is third down and 10 yards to go. Third down and 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a call too. They got it. Thank you, though.
Nice defense on the play. Cruz Zamudio on the pass defense. That'll bring up fourth down. Fourth down on the play.
That'll bring up fourth down.
That's the kind of defense the Frederick team was really probably hoping for when they come out of timeout or come out of halftime and they're down. You need a good stop on the first drive, and the Frederick team did get that. It looks like Mead's going to line up and go for it, though, on fourth down. Fourth down and 10 from the Frederick Warrior 35-yard line. Motion in the backfield. Handoff. Little flea flicker there. Nathan Bailey takes the handoff, then he throws the pass down the field to Corby Teku. And that sets up a first and goal situation again for the Mead Mavericks. So the Frederick Warriors had him stop, 4th and 10. A little trickeration happens, and boom, doesn't work out so well. Nathan Bailey right up the middle, carries. The Mead Mavericks score on their first possession in the second half. Frederick defense shows us some great signs of life there, stopping them, getting them to 4th and 10. A little trickeration, though, was too much for the Frederick Warriors to handle on that time, and a nice play by the Mead Mavericks. Mead Mavericks are lined up for the extra point. This would make it 1 point extra on the board, 35-7 it should be. Brandon Banky on the score. It's now 35-7 Mead over Frederick.
And the extra point is good.
I feel like we should say your aerial view is brought to you by Goodyear, but we don't have that in Frederick. Not even a BF Goodrich blimp over Frederick tonight. Where's the guy that flies over Frederick in his little parachute mobile? Remember that guy? Maybe he could get a camera and a drone and feed it into the YouTube. River Lake, he Cruz Zamudio back deep to receive the kick. Hands up for the kickoff team. Brandon Mankey on the kickoff. It goes deep, heads towards River Lakey. River Lakey fields the ball at the 10-yard line, immediately accelerates out to the 26-yard line. He drops the ball, but it's picked up by LaFi Purcell.
Kick is returned by River Lakey, picked up by LaFi Purcell.
It is a 16-yard return by Lakey. Just got to hold on to the very end. Fortunately, LaFi Purcell was right there to recover that and avoid disaster for the Frederick Warriors. Coach Peoples told us in his pregame interview that they worked a lot on ball security after their game against Mountain View in Gypsum, Colorado. 2.5, 3 hour drive, 3.5 hours for the bus. They worked a lot of ball security, a lot of fumbles in that game. Cruz Zamudio takes the ball, carries it. And Zamudio gains about 5 yards on that play.
The carry for about 5 yards.
Nathan Bailey on the tackle for the Mead Mavericks. The cheerleaders are energized here in the second half, ready to roll. Once again, trying to rouse the parents in their... I don't think the parents in either section for the Mead section team or... Alex Stern receives the pass from Bryce Conover. They try to tackle him high. I don't think they got a face mask, but he goes into Mead Maverick territory to about the 46, 47 yard line. Nice pass and connection by Alex Stern and Bryce Conover. Jeremiah Skruski on the tackle for the Mead Mavericks. Bryce Conover and the Frederick Warriors on the move. 7 minutes and 42 seconds in the third period. Be very nice for the Frederick Warriors to get a touchdown here, get some more points on the board. They hand it to Jonathan Pinkoff. Mead Mavericks again for the second time in a row, tackling very high from my view. Looks like they're somehow avoiding the face mask, but they're definitely tackling around the neck. I remember back to my coaching days, I would remember say, hit him low, helmet in the numbers, but I'm not the coach here, so I'm just up here announcing, going, that's a very high tackle. But they're avoiding the face mask from a far distance where I'm at, high atop the press box, out in the open air. Real close, but again, I'm far, far away, and you may have a better view on the YouTube channel than I do. Bryce Conover under center. River Lakey up the middle, burst of speed. He takes it about 10 to 12 yards. First down, Frederick.
River Lakey with the carry for a Warrior first down.
That's the play that earlier in the, I think the first half of the game, second quarter, I said it looks like they had the playbook and were ready for him to come knocking on that door. That time the Mead Mavericks were not ready for him to come knocking on that door. Nice run by Lakey. LaFi moves in the backfield. LaFi Purcell moves in the backfield. Number 5, River Lakey solo in the backfield. Bryce Conover back to pass. Fakes the handoff to Lakey. Pressure comes immediately, and he's sacked for a loss of probably 1.5 yards. Bryce Conover sacked in the backfield. That'll bring up second down and 10.
Brings up second down and 11 yards.
Second down and 11 yards. Couple of nice passes by Conover today to Alex Stern, number 40. He's out as a wideout right now. Jonathan Pinkoff out on the west side of the field as well, the home side of the field. Bryce Conover out to pass. He gets pressure, so he dumps it off to LaFi Purcell, number 5. He gets a gain of about 4 yards on the play.
Pass is complete to LaFi Purcell.
That will bring up a third down and about 8 yards to go for the Frederick Warriors. Bryce Conover had his eyes downfield, but unable to find any time to identify an open receiver, so he took the little safety valve and dumped it off to LaFi Purcell because the pressure was a little bit too strong, stronger than you wanted in a passing play. Bryce Conover under center. Pinkoff moves in the background. Here comes that reverse play. Nathan Bailey on the interception.
Pass is intercepted.
Pinkoff gets it, looks like a reverse. Reverse play to Cruz Zamudio. Cruz Zamudio gets the pass, launches it across the field, and that pass is intercepted. So Frederick is back on defense after the interception thrown by Zamudio. 5 minutes and 5 seconds left in the third period. Jonathan Pinkoff. John Pinkoff and Alex Stern in there for a quick tackle. That's a nice tackle for a loss by the Mead Mavericks. That'll be second down and 13 yard lines here at Frederick High School. I was saying earlier, the cheerleaders doing their best to get the crowd railed up, but it doesn't happen. I don't think the parents are going to break out in the wave anytime in the near future. A dump pass out in the flat, incomplete by Garrettson. That's a fortuitous for the Frederick Warriors. It brings up 3rd down and long.
13 yards to go.
I'll say what you're already thinking. It would be very nice for the Frederick Warriors to get a stop here and bring this drive to a conclusion. We'll see what happens here. Wind is getting a little, picking up a little bit more from the south. Garrison's back to pass. Almost. I want to say, again, I don't have the best angle in the world, but it looked like it very close to the interception. I didn't see where the ball ended up at, but Jonathan Pinkoff with some great coverage there for the Frederick Warriors. Jonathan Pinkoff is a junior, getting his name called a lot tonight. LaFi Purcell is back far to receive the punt. It's a short punt. Doesn't make it back to Purcell. Somebody on the sideline is going to scream, Peter, 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 which means get away from that punt, and LaFi Purcell does. It's down on the Mead, on the Frederick Warrior 32-yard line. So Frederick Warriors come back on the field. Bryce Conover ready to play some quarterback. Huddles his team up with the play and marching orders from the sideline. For the few seniors that are on this team, this is their final official season home game. There will be a bonus or playoff game that will happen, I believe, this Thursday. But this is winding down the football career for some of these seniors on the team. Not many seniors on the team, but this is it. Bryce Conover rolls out to his right towards his own sideline. He zips back across the field. He has an open Pinkoff, and Pinkoff can't bring it in. He just can't bring it in, and that will bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Frederick Warriors. This Frederick team has always been scrappy all season long. They've come up on the short end as a young team, but they've never played a game to where they have anything to be embarrassed about or ashamed about. They've played very hard, a few mistakes, a little bit more growth. A little bit more physical development, a few more hours in the weight room. Alex Stern on the reception. About an 8-yard pass to Alex Stern, number 40. It's going to bring up about 2.5 yards short of the first down marker. 3 and 2.5. Can we put that on the scoreboard, please? Let's be more accurate. Okay, we can't. We'll just keep it at 3. A little bit more time in the weight room, some more off-season. Talking to Bryce Conover, pitches the ball to Jonathan Pinkoff, who's met in the backfield by an army of Mead Mavericks. Not exactly where they expected to have the Mead Mavericks, but there they are in the backfield. Hello, Jonathan Pinkoff. Talking to Coach Peoples before the game, before he did his pregame interview, about 45 minutes before kickoff, talking to Coach Peoples, and he said, our preference with so many young guys on this team would prefer them all playing JV this year to get just more reps, get some physical stature, some more weightlifting, some more push-ups. Most of these kids didn't start lifting weights officially until just a year ago, heading into their freshman year, a year and a half ago. And so there's just a lot of physical development, not to mention football skills still to develop. But with injuries and quarantine and just the overall situation of the season, the Frederick Warriors have several freshmen and a whole lot of sophomores playing on this varsity team, probably more than any other team I've seen them take on. There's some sophomores mixed in on the other teams, but Frederick is dominated by sophomore and freshman talent, and a lot of great juniors as well. Some of the key juniors are, and I'll go through those in a moment, are quarantined this week or injured, and they're not playing. Nathan Bailey on the carry for the Mead Mavericks. He's chased almost to Lyman, Colorado into the Eastern Plains, but he still gains 4 yards. He heads a lot more east than north-south. If you've been to the Frederick Stadium, you know that you want to run north-south. It's literal. It's not just figurative. A coach says run north-south. In the Frederick field, you do want to run north-south if you're going to go anywhere. That was a lot of east-west running, but he still gained about 4 yards on the play. Garrettson hands off up the middle for the Mead Mavericks. And just by looking at the pile, it looks like a rugby scrum. But whoever it comes out from under that scrum with the ball is a Mead Maverick, and that's a first down for Mead. That was just a fast-hitting ball carry right up the middle, north-south running extraordinary. They must have heard me talking about going east-west. They decided, hey, let's show them what north-south is, and the Mead Mavericks do a fine job. 3 guys in the backfield. Now it's back to just the quarterback. Garrett's in motion in the backfield. He fakes the handoff. He does a pass. Here comes the pressure. There's a loose ball. Chris Baum picks it up. Chris Baum, he's bumbling. He's stumbling. He gets to the
ball is fumbled, picked up by Christopher Baum.
Chris Baum picks it up.
And that'll be first.
Makes his coaches have a heart attack, probably saying, fall on it. But Baum says, I shall not, will not be denied. Life comes to the Frederick stands. Christopher Baum bumbles and stumbles to the 9-yard line. The pressure comes on Garrettson, the Mead Mavericks quarterback. The ball comes out. Chris Baum, hustle play. Just couldn't outrun those smaller guys. Chris Baum, one of the bigger guys on the Frederick team. Junior year. He's got another great year ahead of him. He's also a captain, elected as a captain as a junior this year for the Frederick Warriors. So Bryce Conover back under center with 9 yards to go. Cruz Zamudio goes out for the run. It's first and goal on about the 9-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot him about 2 yards on the play. Cruz Zamudio on the carry. 2nd down and 7 yards for a touchdown. 35-7. Little spark of life for the Frederick offense, we hope. They'll be inspired and see if they can punch one in. Conover under center. He looks to pass. He dumps it out into the flat. Intended for LaFi Purcell. Incomplete pass. That'll bring up 3rd down. So injury report earlier in the drive. Punter Tegan Bowen came hobbling off the field, and looks like they have taken his pads off and told him to go stand on the sideline, resting his leg and a set of crutches. But he's got a semi-smile on his face, so hopefully all is well. A lot of movement on that defensive front, but Bryce Conover looks over to get a flag, and he doesn't get it. River Lakey on a second effort. By forward motion, he should be spotted at the 2 if they give him the forward motion on the play.
On about the 2-yard line.
That'll bring 4th down and 2.
That'll bring up 4th down.
4th down and goal from the 2-yard line. Let's see if Frederick can punch it in. The 3rd quarter is winding down, 35 seconds. Let's see if they get the playoff before the buzzer here. I believe they need to because they pass intended by Bryce Conover to Alex Stern. And the pass is ruled incomplete. The Frederick Warriors will hand it over on down, unable to capitalize on the Chris Baum recovery after the sack of the Mead Maverick quarterback. So the Frederick defense comes back on the field, and they will have the Mead Mavericks backed up into their own end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Mead Mavericks' own 2-yard line. All the armchair quarterbacks are thinking a great time for a safety right about now. From the shotgun, ball comes out to about the 15-yard line with Evan Morris for the Mead Mavericks. That gives the Mead Mavericks a little extra room. We're about to hear the buzzer here in the field. That's going to end the third quarter. Let's see if the Mead Mavericks are lined up. Let's see if they get the playoff before the buzzer goes. Yeah, they got the instruction from the sideline. They were just about to and got the instruction to hold off on that.
35, the Frederick Warriors win.
As we head into the fourth quarter in Frederick, Colorado, 35-7. Some of the key players that are missing this game, I know many of them are watching at home. Hopefully they are. If not, you have to ask them where they're at. Tyler Weston is a starting tailback and linebacker. He's missing. Trevor McLean, a D1 recruit and offensive defensive lineman, he's missing. Chris Espindola, he's the starting center, he's missing. Parker Ayers, who's had a fantastic year as a running back and a defensive back, a junior, he's missing. Cooper Anderson, a sophomore, who's been the starting safety, he's out today. Noel Martinez, who's a starting linebacker, missing. And Mikey Espindola, also a starting linebacker. But nevertheless, as Coach Peoples told us in his pregame interview, Frederick may be down, but they're going to keep fighting. They could have folded. Some people said you should just fold it up. You've got people in quarantine for COVID. You've got people injured. Why don't you wrap it up and call it a season? And Coach Peoples told us in his pregame interview, if you missed it, go back and watch this once it's reloaded. Watch his pregame interview or listen to it. People said, I don't care if I have to play all freshmen, I will. And that's what really is happening. So many sophomores, so many freshmen on this field. And they're giving it a valiant effort. Their heads are up high, their spirits are high. I'd love for the scoreboard to look a little bit different. But anybody watching this Frederick team and knowing the level that they have, the talent level they have, know that in the coming few years, this is to watch not just in this district, not just in this region, but in all of Colorado. Nathan Bailey, as you watch on the camera, a long run for the Mead Mavericks. That's going to be a big touchdown for Mead.
Bailey takes the ball in for a Maverick touchdown.
Minutes and 16 seconds to go in the fourth period.
There is a penalty flag.
41-7. There's a flag on the play. It doesn't look like it's going to march it all the way back down the field, though, unfortunately. Frederick is probably wishing it was a penalty that was going to take them back about 75 yards to where they were at, but doesn't look like that's about to happen. The referees are conferring. They're going to mark the ball on the 3-yard line. There's a penalty marker. I have not seen an indication of what the penalty was. Did they wave off the flag? All right, so he had a touchdown, and then after the score was made, you have an unsportsmanlike conduct by someone on the Mead Mavericks team. They're going to get a talking to by their coach and maybe their mama tonight. Unsportsmanlike conduct. I didn't see what the conduct was, but whatever it was unsportsmanlike. And therefore, naughty. I think he said that the penalty, it will be assigned on the kickoff. There's the extra point attempt by the kicker for Mead. It's no good.
It is no good.
So we'll see if they penalize and mark off this unsportsmanlike conduct call against the Mead Mavericks. We'll see if they mark that off on the kickoff here that's just about to happen. Brandon Mankey, the kicker, he missed that one, but he's been good for a couple of others tonight. Doing this previous to the first week that we actually did this, second week we had a little technical difficulty, but it was fun to be up here and you would hear people listening on their iPhones and on the YouTube all across and even back in the field of the rowdy crowd. But because of COVID and social distancing, A lot of the folks have been chased away and told they can't come to the game tonight, and so the south field is empty, and parents are, for the most part, social distance. I mean, there might be people that are within 15 feet, 20 feet of each other, but everybody else is more like 80 feet away. It's a pretty sparse and empty scene. If this was a college class, it would be canceled for the semester due to lack of participation. But that's not due to the parents' fault. That's the restrictions that they have been given that we have to operate under. Always fun to watch any team with their little traditions of what they pass down for year to year. Kick goes out of bounds. Let's do that. It was headed towards River Lakey. Kind of a squib kick. Out of bounds flag on the play for that before it's touched by a Frederick team. Always interesting to see and find out if you can get the history and all the traditions that happen on the field. I noticed the Mead Mavericks put their hands up as if they're in some kind of trouble. Then they slap their thigh pads. I'm sure that was passed down. And Frederick, every year, their kicker will scream, "We are," and the team is supposed to scream, "Frederick." And sometimes they forget to do so, and you have a solo shout-out by the kicker. So always interesting to see the little traditions that get passed down school to school. That's part of high school football. It's tradition, it's camaraderie, it's friendship, it's brotherhood, it's memories. LaFi Purcell, oh, that's Jonathan Pinkoff in the motion, but there's a flag right as the ball gets snapped. And they're going to call an illegal motion on the Frederick Warriors. That's going to back them up about 5 yards on that first down play. Not the direction that Frederick was hoping to go right about now, but it is the direction they're going to go. Zamudio in motion. River Lakey gets the carry up. He might get the first down depending on where they spot him down. Straight up the middle. Oh, yeah, first down. I saw the marker there, but I forgot they were not right at that. That's a gain of 4 yards. He may get back to the original line of scrimmage. I saw him cross the yard marker, but that was where they start at. That's not the other end of the yard marker. My bad. Correction for me. Throw a penalty on me. I'm just the YouTube host. Pass intended for number 40, Alex Stern. Incomplete, off the hands of a Mavericks receiver, a Mavericks defender. It seems as if Bryce Conover really enjoys throwing to Alex Stern. That's been his favorite target of the night. Some have been very successful. Some have liked that one. Not so much, but a little bit of camaraderie. Alex Stern might have been buying Bryce Conover's lunch or something. Alex Stern going to get him a Christmas present this year. All right, here we go. Still playing football in Frederick. 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Conover under center. Conover drops back straight to pass. His pass is completed.
And Conover's pass is complete to Alex Stern for a
And that pass is completed. What did I just say to number 40, Alex Stern? That is going to be a first down for the Frederick Warriors. 1st and 10. Conover to Stern. Zamudio in motion, but the handoff goes to number 1, Jonathan Pinkoff on the carry. He gains about 3 yards on the play. There's so many weapons on this Frederick team. You can hand it to Pinkoff. You can hand it to Zamudio. You can hand it to Lakey. You can hand it to, when Parker Ayers is in, you can hand it. There's just so many options that they have. And that's why the next year, as they continue to grow, it's going to be a fantastic team because they can beat you in so many different ways. Number 22 down the field for Conover. It's a touchdown pass, wide open. The Mead Mavericks forgot that Cruz Zamudio was on the field. They decided to, I guess, leave him wide open, missed coverage or something, but Zamudio takes it, and he takes the pass. Touchdown, Frederick. That takes it to 41-13. Extra point attempt. Zane Doring, the kicker, is back to attempt the extra point, putting Frederick into double digits with that pass from Conover to Zamudio. And the kick is up. It's good. Pow, pow, pow. Frederick scores. Touchdown, field goal. And the cheerleaders are going to bust into song here. God bless them. The dance team is also singing the fight song of the school. They're both at different parts of the song right now. The way we do it this way, it's actually gets sung twice. It's extra spirit. Now they've synced up at the end for a fight. Warriors fight. They're going to make Zane Doring try this thing again. There was a penalty on the play, and there's another penalty. Looks like that was going to go against the Mead Mavericks, jumping off sides.
Offsides on the Mavericks.
So that's another penalty on the play. So Zane Doring still lined up to kick this field goal. He completed it once, but a penalty caused it to make him try it again. High snap, into place. Boom goes the dynamite.
And for a second
It's
time, Doring
done again.
Point is good.
For emphasis, Zane Doring scores the extra point. The music in the stadium. My spotter, Dan Morton, says this is my theme song. I'm bringing sexy back. That's the stadium in the... Now he's telling me that's not it. He says I'm all wrong. It should be my theme song, I'm thinking. That's what... Maybe I was saying that to myself. Dan Morton, my spotter, is hiding in a tent over here. I'm out in the wind and cold. He says, sorry. He's sitting on a padded chair. I'm standing up, not in a padded chair. Thanks. There's that We Are Warriors shout by the kicker. It's a high kick by Zane Doring. It goes out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. Nice kick by Zane Doring. They only had one person center field to return. Doring picks up his own tee.
On their own 35-yard line.
And so with that penalty, it was a nice kick, but because it went out of bounds, it's going to be a... it will go at about the 25-yard line. The stadium announcer says 35, but who's counting? It's just 25. No, they are going to move to the 35. So who's counting? Evidently, I'm not counting. Penalty there for kicking it out of bounds before a player touches it. Motion in the backfield for the Mead Mavericks. Garrettson at quarterback still. Number 7 for the Mead Mavericks takes the carry. Gains about 4 yards. That's Evan Morris. About 4 yards. That's going to be 2nd and 6. On the tackle is Chris Sanako for the Frederick Warriors. He is one of only 2 starting seniors on this team. This is his last official season game in Frederick. This coming Thursday will be a bowl game, a bonus game that all teams get to play that aren't in the playoffs. So Chris Sanako should get to suit up one more time. Reese Lehman is the other senior out there. This is his final game of the season for the Frederick Warriors. Sanako, Chris Sanako, and Reese Lehman. Braden Keys on the carry for the Mead Mavericks. He takes it up past the first down marker.
That'll be a Maverick first down.
First down by the Mead Mavericks. Mead is keeping it on the ground at this point, which is probably helpful at this point. If not for those on the field, for those of us high above the field standing in the wind, it's helpful. A lot of shifting in the backfield here for the Mead Mavericks. Garrettson back in the shotgun formation. He looks to the sideline, gets a play change, hand signals by the Mead coach. Garrettson's making some changes there at the line of scrimmage. Motion, handoff. Missed tackle there. Eli Mackey on the carry. What probably was set up to be a loss of 3 or 4 ends up being a gain of about 5. Just a couple of missed tackles and moves by Mackey for the Mead Mavericks. The clock continues to tick. It continues to roll here in Frederick. Looking out at Colorado Boulevard to my east, the mountains behind me. Just catch this play and we'll continue that thought. Garrettson back again for the shotgun formation. Up the middle they go, and just Evan Morris on the carry. Looks like he'll come up short of the first down. It'll be third down and just about 1 yard line. You got to give it to the Mead Mavericks. Looks like that offensive line is doing a great job of just opening up the holes, and
that'll bring up 3rd and 1.
the runner's exactly able to find out where those holes are at. It's also interesting to watch the Mead Mavericks and the quickness that they regroup and how they, a lot of calls at the line of scrimmage, adjustments made to the line of scrimmage. Garrison from the shotgun formation, somebody else right behind him. I can't see the number from this angle. He hands it off up the middle, and the pile looks like it has moved, and even though it looked like there was a wall of Warriors there, they're going to give about 3 yards on that run to about almost the 40-yard line, and that's good enough for a Mead Maverick first down. The clock continues to roll.
That'll be a Maverick first down.
Who's that? Corby Teku on the carry, and again, first down. Started in the I formation, then they rolled out. That would have been an unusual formation for the Mead Mavericks tonight. A lot of motion in the background. Handoff, number 3, Braden Keys. Little bounceroo.
Carry for a gain of 6.
And Frederick finally brings him down, but not before he gets about 6 yards on that play. And that's second down and just about 4 yards to go.
Second down and 4 yards to go.
Sometimes I think the stadium announcer's repeating me. And of course, sometimes he hears me and probably thinks I'm repeating him. Garrettson back in the shotgun formation. They keep it on the ground, go up the middle. There they go. Met with a wall of Warriors.
The carry tripped up by John Pinkoff.
Chris Sudoku also in on that tackle. John Pinkoff as well. There was a wall of Warriors. A lot of people should get credit on that. My paper was blowing, so I couldn't see all the numbers from here. Timeout Mead on the field.
Timeout.
They were doing a little kabuki dance, a little song and dance to try to get the Frederick Warriors to jump off sides. Frederick would not jump off sides. The parents here in the high school stadium obviously kind of felt a little bit as if maybe that delay of game clock was not running as they were shouting, "When is the clock? Where's the clock?" But The Mead coach was over there telling him he's going to call a timeout right before they got the delay of game. So a valiant effort to run some time off the clock, but also a valiant effort to try to get Frederick to jump off sides. As I said, Coach Peoples, before the game, I talked to him for about 35, 45 minutes prior to the game starting. We chatted. And he said his ideal formation is not to have all these sophomores and freshmen on the field tonight, but that's the cards he was dealt, and they're being very respectable. They're making a great showing, and it's giving great hope for the future of the Frederick High School football team. 3rd down, 2 yards to go. You hear the popping of the pads? Braden Keys on the carry, and that's a first down for the Mavericks. The clock does continue to run. 4 minutes and 11 seconds to go. Obviously, this is the final regular season game for the Frederick Warriors. Will be a loss. Their off season will begin, according to plan, the Monday after fall break, Thanksgiving. The kids have already started getting instructions on the weightlifting program and their protocols, and looking forward, hopefully, more of a normal spring practice and summer program for the Frederick Warriors. And all the teams across Colorado that really got dealt a short end of a stick and a bad deck with all the restrictions. Number 7, Evan Morris, on a very strong carry up the middle. He drags it to a first down.
Gain of 10.
To those starting seniors, they'll get a chance to play Thursday in this bowl game. And this bowl game will be, it's a team in Brighton. I don't have the name of it right in front of me, but hopefully we'll have the YouTube broadcast up for that, and that's a bonus game. Every team in the state was promised that even if they didn't make the playoffs, they'd get 6 regular season games and then one kind of a bonus, what we call a bowl game. And that will be at Frederick High School on this Thursday. More details, I'm sure, forthcoming. Once again, Mead just lines up and waits for the quarterback to figure out what he's doing, take the signals. Eli Mackey on the carry for the Mead Mavericks, 2 minutes and 46 seconds. Frederick probably at this point wishing that they would keep ticking. The clock continues to roll.
To about the 4-yard line.
They're just running right north-south football. And again, that starting line, Chris Sunoco, Reese Lehman are there on the line. But other than that, I think it is all sophomores out there, 15 years old. In the pregame walkthrough on the field looking around, I think a lot of those linemen, Mead has a slight size advantage only because a couple of more years of weightlifting and conditioning against a bunch of 15-year-olds. But respectable group of kids out there doing their best, holding their heads up high, have no reason to hold their head low. Eli Mackey on the score for the Mead Mavericks. Just less than 2 minutes to go. So that takes the score to 47-14. 47-14. Mead will go for the extra point. It's up. It's no good. It's good. I was going to call no good. That's why I'm not on the field.
Point is good.
When you're at the very top of the press box, high above a chain link fence, sometimes your angles are off. River Lakey, Cruz Zamudio back deep to receive the kick. by the Brandon Bakey, the kicker for the Mead Mavericks. There's their hands up move. They slap their thigh pads. Up goes the kick by the Mead Mavericks. River Lakey has the ball. He takes it at the 15. He's met at the 30 by the Mead Mavericks.
Lakey with the return to the 30-yard line.
15-yard return by River Lakey.
That'll be 1st and 10, Frederick.
River? Oh. Yeah, he's got tape on his arm. Bryce Conover hands off the ball.
And
John Pinkoff on the carry.
For a Warrior first down.
Cruzamudio takes the pass from Conover. He gets it with the forward progress, about 2.5 yards on the play. Minute 18 left in this game. After that kickoff return, River Lakey came to the sideline with a little bit of hobble, talked to the trainer. He's now not talking to the trainer anymore and just resting up, getting ready probably to go back in the game. Tegan Bowen has not been back in the game since an injury occurred. But he's on the sideline talking to his teammates.
Chris Kolowski with the carry.
Senior Chris Kolowski with the carry. This was, again, if Chris Kolowski is a senior, so he gets one of his final carries in the regular season of his football career. Chris Kolowski in for Lakey at the tailback spot. Conover hands to Cruzamudio. The counter play happens. It will be a first down.
Cruzamudio with the
20 seconds left in the clock. Be sure to check the Facebook page to find out if the Thursday bowl game will be broadcast on the YouTube channel. We have about 12 seconds to go. The clock is running. From Frederick, Colorado, thanks for listening tonight to the Mountain Cowboy Brewery and all across America and all across Colorado, as this socially distanced crowd and limited attendance forced you to be in front of your computer. That wraps up the game. The Frederick Warriors can hold their head up high. Valiant effort, but the Frederick Warriors 14, the Mead Mavericks 48. And that winds up the football game tonight. Check the Facebook page, the social media outlets, find out if the YouTube channel will be active on Friday, on Thursday. That'll be the final game, the bowl season. Have a great night. Congratulations, Frederick, on a great season. Nothing to be ashamed of. Hold your heads up high, and we'll play one more game together, and then next year will be great. Have a great night. Go, Frederick.